If you're used to having average sexual experiences that are predictable, fully limited to the genitals, maybe not even that satisfying anymore. If you want to turn that into an exciting, full body experience where waves of pleasure are moving through your body, you're in complete control of your ejaculation, you're able to sustain and intensify incredible sensations of sex, then you're going to want to learn sacrum breathing. Because a lot of men are locked up in their hips and in their genital region, there's a lot of tension here, there's no space for sexual pleasure to move throughout the body. And this also means that sexual friction, the excitement, the nervous system electricity generated during sex gets stuck in the genitals, so you can only ejaculate it out. So by learning this practice, it's going to help open up the sacral pump, which can send sexual pleasure and orgasms up your spine to connect with the rest of the body, meaning that your body turns into an orgasm generator. Does that sound good? Stick around and you're going to learn how to do it. I'm Jonathan White. I've helped thousands of men from around the world learn to retrain their mind, body, and nervous system to experience non-ejaculatory orgasms, last as long as they want in bed, and go into sex feeling confident and in control. Make sure you hit subscribe to stay notified when new content like this is released, and make sure you get my free ejaculation control ebook through the link in the video description below. It's going to give you exercises to develop legendary ejaculation control. So there's some important physiology, we could say almost more energetic physiology of the body that we were never really taught about. I mean, when it comes to sex, we weren't given much tools in general, you know what I mean? Most of us just see some images on a screen and we try to spend the rest of our lives duplicating what we see, usually to a little success. Most people's lives aren't exciting as what we saw in porn. But I'm here to help you make your sex life not just more exciting, but more enriching, more satisfying, more fulfilling. So first of all, let me ask you this. Do you find that your sexual experiences are typically exactly the same? Like you do the same thing every single time. And are you aware of what's happening in your body when you have sex? Do you find yourself just kind of going towards the ejaculation or going towards the point of like maximum tension, maximum right on the edge of ejaculating and hovering there, if not just going right over the edge? If so, then you're missing out on a whole world of experience. You see, this is the journey of sexual kung fu, is to expand your possibilities of sex. Expand your experience, develop more presence, develop more body awareness of what's happening so that you can use this experience to cultivate not just much more pleasure and sustained states of orgasm, but more vitality, better health. And that may sound crazy, but the thing is, men are leaking their energy through sex by excessive ejaculation, by being overly tense, by just rushing through sex to try to get off, get an ejaculation. It's actually depleting you of energy. So what we have is an outward and downward flow of energy. Everything wants to flow out your genitals, that's what you're used to. And one of the main principles in sexual kung fu is we want to develop an upward flow of energy in the body. Instead of out the genitals, we want to train it to move upwards and be comfortable moving upwards. And that takes repetition, it takes opening up the nervous system, opening up certain parts of the body. And it's a process. But one tool that really supports this process, like one practice you can do to really amplify your results, is to work with the sacrum. And I'm going to teach you a sacrum breathing practice that will help you to do this. But first of all, we need to understand what is the sacrum and why is it important that we work with it. The sacrum is a triangular bone above your tailbone. It's in the lower back. It's basically the back of your hips. When we look at the anatomy of the spine, there's a connection. You know, the genitals are at the bottom of the spine. We have the brain up here at the top. And when we can really open up this pathway of communication in the spine, there's a lot of major nerves, major arteries that move through this pathway. When we can free up this pathway, because a lot of men have tension in their bodies. Do you find yourself sitting around a lot? Are you able to do the splits? Are your hips really open? If not, I'm not saying every man should be able to do the splits, but if you don't have a good degree of mobility in your body, especially in the hip area, then there's probably a lot of tension, there's a lot of stagnance that just gets worse as you get older. And this is something that causes erectile dysfunction, it causes premature ejaculation, causes just aches and pains, and a gradual diminishing every single year of your sexual potency. And so one of the best ways to remedy this is to activate the sacrum, activate the sacral pump. When activated, the sacrum acts as a pump to pump your sexual vitality upwards in the body. Maybe if you've been exploring these sexual practices for a while, you've heard the term sacral pump. I heard about it very early on in my journey in sexual kung fu, but what took me a long time to discover is what it actually means and how to actually activate it. Because a lot of people talk about these practices and they talk about doing things like, squeezing the pelvic floor muscles and just like tucking your pelvis, and there you go, the sacral pump's activated. It takes more than postural alignment and muscular activation. In fact, muscular activation is often having the opposite effect. Tension constricts the flow of your nervous system information and your chi, your life force. So that's not it, not from my experience. When you get the sacrum online, on a physical level, the tissues are more mobile, they're more free, the nerves are freed up. But when you energetically activate this area, when you get it to light up, you'll feel it, it's quite tangible. It has this effect of moving your jing. Jing is your dense sexual energy. It's like this thick, viscous jelly energetically. And it can be difficult to move, especially if you have little skill in internal energy training. So like a lot of men get into these practices and like, oh yeah, I just want to move my orgasm up my spine. Well, it's not easy to move that thick, very hot, turned on jing when you're right before the point of ejaculating with no prior training. It's probably not going to happen. So when you get in the habit of practicing this sacral breathing exercise, it's going to open up this area and it's going to turn it into a pump so that just as you practice it day to day, it's activating these different acupuncture points, which are here in the sacrum, which connect to basically building your sexual vitality. When these areas get closed down, the kidney energy becomes diminished. In Chinese medicine, kidney energy is all about your sexual health. And so reactivating these points strengthens your kidney energy, strengthens your sexual vitality, and also strengthens the ability of your sexual energy, your aroused energy, to move freely throughout your body. So instead of it staying stuck in the genitals, you'll be able to move it up the spine. And a lot of men I've worked with find that when they activate the sacral pump, it's a lot easier to just move that energy right upwards. So now you understand a little bit about, more about the sacrum and why we want to do this practice. So let's do it. All right. So the first thing is a very simple self-massage, because most of you probably have never thought much about this region of the body before, and it's going to be difficult to connect with it in your mind. And I recommend doing this every day. I do it in the morning, I do it at the night, I do it before I'm going to do a sacrum breathing practice like this, or before, sexual activity. So all you're going to do is take the backs of your hands, I make my hands into fists, and I just massage around the sacrum area. Like I start just above my butt crack and to the sides, I massage in there with my knuckles. I go out to the upper edge of the glutes, just this whole region back here. And it feels really good. The first time you do it, you're probably going to feel like some tingles, some nice sensations you usually don't feel because you're not paying much attention to this area. So we just massage around and get it warmed up, loosening it up. I recommend doing this, again, every single day, just for a couple minutes. It can have a big impact on your sexual vitality. So we've done that, and now you're going to have a seat, any seated comfortable position. You can also do this lying down, but I recommend doing it sitting in a chair with your feet on the ground, your spine straight as I am right now. And I want you first to just establish lower abdominal breathing. So you can place your hands beneath your belly button and just inhale. Feel the belly expand gently. Exhale. Bring the belly back in towards the spine. In and out of the nostrils, ideally. Now, bring your mind to the sacrum. And that is, again, it's your lower back area, just above your tailbone. And I want you to imagine that as you're breathing, you are breathing through those holes. There's several holes in the sacrum. And I want you to feel as if each hole was a nostril, and you're inhaling and exhaling out of them. It'll feel a little weird at first. It'll take a bit of practice to get this, but just try it out. So as you inhale, there's this feeling of suction from the inside. There's this almost like a friction as the air moves through the holes. Just how it feels when you inhale air and it kind of tickles your nose hairs, create that same feeling of friction as if air is entering into the holes of your sacrum as you inhale. And as you exhale, you blow out the holes of the sacrum. Same thing. It's like this cool air is moving, tickling the sacrum area as it moves through the holes. Really creating this feeling of suction as you inhale, sucking in through those holes of the sacrum like it's filling up your belly. Exhale, blowing out through the sacrum. You can also feel like it's like you're sucking in water, like something thick and viscous as you inhale. It's pulling it in. Exhale, blowing it out like dolphins or whales. They blow water out through their blowholes. It's like that happening in your sacrum, that sort of feeling. So we're engaging this kinesthetic sense to start getting this energetic area online. And that's also going to activate the nerves of this region. So as you continue to practice this, continue breathing in and out of the sacrum, you may start to feel various sensations. Heat, tingling, buzzing, electrical sensations, maybe cool. These are all good indicators that you're on the right path. This area is starting to activate. You may not feel anything at first. It may take a week or two to feel anything. Don't worry about it. Just keep practicing with it. So let's just keep breathing in and out of the sacrum. Just a couple more minutes. And you imagine that your nose and mouth are plugged up. You're underwater or something, and you cannot breathe through them, so you have to breathe through the sacrum. Now, not really physically, but you're just imagining that there's this urgency, and that is truly where you're breathing through, is your sacrum. You can experiment with intensifying the breath, making it a bit louder. Or be very, very soft and effortless with the breathing. Try that as well. Just see what creates the strongest effect with this sacral breathing. Okay, then stop and just notice, bring your mind, absorbing your mind into the region of the sacrum, the lower back. Just notice how it feels. Mine feels hot. It's buzzing with energy because I do this a lot. My sacrum's quite open. You may not feel much, maybe very subtle at first, but it will build as you practice more and more. So that is the sacrum breathing. Quite simple, but I know that this is it's almost like using a new muscle you've never used before if you haven't done this type of practice. So just keep working with it, practice it regularly, and you'll get better at it. It will get more tangible. A good sign you're on the right track is you start to feel tingles, buzzing initially. That will become thicker and thicker sensations like heat, coolness, something radiating from this area. You may start to feel like a fluid moving up your spine. A great sign that your sacral pump is opening up. So practice this regularly. If you're doing a lot of other sexual kung fu practices, incorporate this a few days a week. Even doing just a few minutes of this is going to really compound over time. But my recommendation would be to do it for a minimum of 3 to 5 minutes per session. Go up to 10 minutes of doing it. You don't need to do it much more than that. And the more you do it, the easier it will be to get this area to light up and activate. Again, it's going to be really awkward at first, but the more you do it, the more tangible it will become. You can do it sitting, lying down. Eventually you can do it while you're walking around, while you're commuting to work, whatever. Something I like to do is go on the ground and get a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball and just roll around on it on my sacral area, really get some trigger point and release there. And then just laying on the ground, do some sacrum breathing. It feels fantastic. Sometimes I do it laying in bed at night. I find it very relaxing. And you can try it out during sex, during self-pleasure, whatever, see what happens. But again, this exercise helps to open up this flow of sexual vitality. It helps to create this communication between the genitals and the brain so your sexual energy can pump up and rejuvenate the brain. Increasing your sexual circulation skills is going to open up more space in your body so your ejaculation control can get better. And this is just one little piece, just the tip of the iceberg of some of the things we practice in the sexual kung fu training. In my multi-orgasmic man program, we learn how to turn the entire body into a pump of sexual energy through the dragon breathing practice. So it goes far beyond just sacrum breathing. If you'd like to see more videos on how to activate the sacral pump and really get it moving, let me know in the comments below. And the next thing I recommend that you do is watch a video I made which will teach you how to move your body in a certain way during sex that will help you to last longer. And it's gonna really build upon what you learn in this video, because when you have that sacral pump online from this practice, it's gonna really carry over into movement during sex in a proper way. So check out that video. I'll put a link to it. Feel free to share what you experienced in the comments below. I'll be curious to hear what you guys experience when you do this practice. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit like. Again, get my free ejaculation control ebook through the link in the video description below. And happy training, my friends. Take care.